So we can start at any time. So we can let's just do it,
Yeah.
man. You and I look. If you and I recorded some of the legendary conversations we've had over the past few years, some of those we
Oh yeah.
people
No,
would love to,
I
especially
agree.
especially everyone joining in on how wrong you are about Pierce Brosnan as Bond. God, would love the feedback on that. Would have just been off the charts because you'd be on that very lonely island, Joe. Very lonely island with the Pierce Brosnan isn't Bond placard.
He comes up here quite a few times
He
too.
does, and I'm sure that will come up, Joe. But anyway, right, okay, okay. So, hello, welcome to a special edition of Rusted Junk. There is no film. We're not looking at particular. Well, we are looking at films, but as you listen to this, I'm currently on holiday, so not on my own. I'm with Amanda and our daughter, Amy, who's been on the podcast. But yes, you'll be listening to this while I'm scuba diving or something. So I hope you enjoy this because Joe and I put our heads together and said, what are we going to do? Dom's busy, Amanda's busy. What can we do together in order so that we don't leave you with a 3-week gap? And Joe, what idea did you come up with?
I came up with there are so many beloved movies in the 80s, and we're so used to the actors that are portraying them that we could never think of anyone else filling their shoes. But there have been lots of times where we almost dodged a bullet, or we could have had something better.
Or something better, yeah.
And this is basically who almost was. Who almost was cast in a couple of our favorite 80s movies.
Hmm.
And I've come up with 4 different movies. I think with this one, we're going to do the first two, which would be Raiders of the Lost Ark and Batman.
Yep.
So
And
whenever
then I
you're
take
ready.
and then I take over, and the next podcast that you listen to, which will be in a week's time. See how we've got this all like set up, and it's all smooth as silk. We know exactly when the next one's going to be in a week's time. You're not going to have to wait 8 days. You're not going to wait 6. It's going to be exactly 7. So it's great. But then I'm going to take 2 films, and then you're going to get this other podcast. But
You know,
anyway,
do you mind me making one
go for it.
change? Because I don't have much on Raiders of the Lost Ark. Can
Okay.
we switch one of them out for now? Because I think that this would be better if we did Batman and Back to the Future. Would that
Oh
be
dear.
okay?
Uh, Batman and the Breakfast Club. We've got a lot to say about Back to the Future.
So which one do you want?
Breakfast Club. You do the
Right.
Breakfast Club. I'll do Back to the Future, and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay. So all right. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to do The Breakfast Club and
Yeah.
Batman.
Lovely listeners. Do you know how I just said that we're all joined up and this is going to be really smooth? Yes. Yeah, about that. Anyway, look, this is you are finding us at our. This is how Joe and I are. I love doing the podcast. I love doing the podcast with everybody. I started it with Amanda. I love doing it with Dom. But what you're about to hear, is pretty much how me and Joe talk in the week. When I first approached him on his podcast and we started talking, it literally started like this. It wasn't like getting to know you. Boom. It was just in. But anyway, with that said, over to you, Joe. Where
Okay.
are you going to go first?
Let's do your Breakfast Club movie.
Your Breakfast Club movie, the one you slated and the one that I'm right on.
That's debatable.
I've
We'll
loaded
just
it
say.
up to take with me on holiday, Joe. I've loaded it up
Okay.
on the iPad to take it with me. That's it. That's the
Oh,
list.
seriously?
That's the list that gets on there. Yeah, yeah.
Again, depending on the casting choices, this movie could have been better or it could have been a lot worse.
We'll find out.
But all right, let's go with the first one for The Breakfast Club.
Okay.
So the role of Bender. And who is Bender? Do you want to refresh people's memories?
Judd Nelson.
Judd Nelson, and he was kind of like.
No, that there is. Whatever names you're going to say, I can't. They're up against the legend is Judd Nelson.
But he was basically his character was he was a no good Nick, right?
Yeah, you
Like
no good, lying,
like this close from spending time in prison.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So one of the first people that they had in mind was Nicolas Cage.
Nicholas Cage. Nicholas Cage in 1985.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking, okay, Nicholas Cage in 1985. Peggy Sue got married 86. Um,
When was that Valley Girl?
Rumblefish. He was in Rumblefish. Uh, Valley Girl. Valley Girl was 82, I
Oh, it
think.
was 82. Okay.
Yeah. Still haven't seen that, Joe. I do apologize. But
No, he had messed up teeth back then. You need to watch it just for that. And actually, what was that movie that he was in recently where he played himself?
oh, the unbearable weight of massive talent.
I'm pretty sure that that was his Valley Girl character.
Right. Okay. Well, do you know what? To be fair, I'm thinking. Let's fast forward. Face off, Nick Cage. You know, could he have played a character like that? Yeah, I think he could. Yeah, I think I could. I could see that.
Yeah, I could too. I think I could see him as the character. I think Judd Nelson, although I'm not a fan of this movie, I think he did a good job, for the role that he played. It's hard to imagine him not being in that role, that he did that good of a job, I'll say.
But I can see the hair flick. You know, the Judd Nelson hair flick and the denim jacket and everything, and being that flippant. You know, does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe? I can see Nick Cage saying lines like that. So yeah, that's a good shout.
No, I definitely could see him playing a tough role, Nicolas Cage. He has in the past, and he would be intimidating, I think. But the problem for them or John Hughes is that they couldn't afford him. He wanted more money, and
Right.
So
all of these names are people that have auditioned.
Yeah, they were either auditioned or they were considered or they were even cast in the roles, and then something happened.
Wow.
So
Eric Stoltz being a big one, but we will get to that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one. Do you want to guess any, or do you want me to just roll them off?
Yeah. Do you know what? Guessing we'd be here all. Yeah, we'd be. John
all right,
Cusack. John Cusack.
Okay, what I was going to do is I was going to give you clues.
Okay, clues.
I used to do this
I
on
like
my
clues.
show. But you know what? You guessed that one right, though.
Okay. John Cusack is John Bender.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Definitely not. I love that guy, and I love the majority of his films, and I think he's extremely talented. And we will. He's just his films are just perfect. No, absolutely not.
So he actually was cast as Bender
Hmm.
by John Hughes, and when he had showed up and I guess did some maybe reading for it, he just felt that he didn't look threatening enough.
No, not at all.
No,
imagine him saying
a
line. Why don't we fix the door and let's get the prom queen impregnated? Right. There's no way that John Cusack could say that line and come off. He just done 16 Candles. He just played the geek in 16 Candles. He's pretty much the same. Well, the same year, 1985. He was the sure thing. He plays the lovable geek.
Yeah, I would say
even in Grosse Pointe Blank, where he plays a hitman, he's not hard. He's not gritty. He's just. I mean, that's such a good film, but no, I couldn't see him pass out. No,
he's kind of got kind eyes, and
that's a nice way of putting it, Joe.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think if they would have put dark sunglasses on him, maybe slick back his hair, but still, I think Judd Nelson would have had him beat in this one. All right, so I'm going to give you some clues on this one.
Okay.
I think this was a popular 70s movie, and it was about high school. And I think it was down in California. And it was a comedy.
Okay.
So could you
Teen
guess
Wolf?
them? No.
Okay.
And I could be wrong. It's either 70s or early 80s, but I'm pretty sure it was 70s.
Class?
No.
No.
All right, I'll say this actor this was one of his first roles. This next clue, if I give you, you got to get him.
Okay, go on.
He was married to Madonna.
Oh, Sean Penn.
Yeah. So it was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. What was that, 70s or 80s?
1980.
Okay, so it was close. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if it was 70s or 80s, but it seemed like a 70s movie to me.
Yeah, it does. It does. Sean Penn.
Sean Penn is Bender.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
definitely. Definitely.
I
He's got the sass. He's got everything to do with it. Don't forget, he'd just been in Taps not long ago. Showed that he could do tough. Do you know what I'm thinking now? Now that I mentioned Taps, is Tom Cruise on your list
he's somewhere.
for John Bender?
No.
Because I'm thinking of how hard Tom Cruise was in Taps. I mean, you would not mess with him. He was led the Red Berets. Basically,
I don't
goes nuts at the end with the M60.
I couldn't see him though in that role
Oh, I don't
anyway.
know though. Well,
Especially at that age. He was too good looking. Not that I'm saying that Judd Nelson wasn't, but I think you got to look a little hard and for the character. But I actually could see Sean Penn as Bender, and I think he probably would have done a really good role,
yeah,
maybe
he
even
would.
a better one.
See, now if we were discussing it and Sean Penn had got the role, and then you were telling me, oh, you know the guy that was in St. Elmo's Fire, Judd Nelson, the guy that played the lawyer. What do you think?
Mm.
And I might not have gone. No, Sean Penn's Bender, definitely. Yeah, yeah, I like that, Joe. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I do too.
Who's next on the list?
So
Anyone
this
else for
was
Bender? Is that it?
there's a couple more.
Okay.
So this guy was part of the Brat Pack.
Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen, Andrew McCarthy,
Hey, slow down there,
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kimosabi.
All right. Okay.
Well, you got one of them anyway. Emilio Estevez.
As John
He
Bender.
he was originally cast as Bender.
I think I remember doing that for the podcast and going, no. No, he's too nice.
But they couldn't find anybody for Andrew. So John Hughes asked him to play Andrew. That was his name, right? Andrew?
Andrew, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I can't picture him at all. I can't. I mean, I think he's probably the worst part of the film. I think he's completely miscast. And I think the majority of people that are mentioned for Andrew would have done a better job. And I just don't like Emilio Estevez. I haven't seen him in anything good ever. Sorry, but
Repo Man,
never seen it.
Men at Work.
Never seen it.
You did,
Told you.
Trust me, you don't want to see it. I watched it. I had it on yesterday in the background. It does not age well.
Oh yeah, I remember you were like pushing me to watch that. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
well,
this is great.
Well,
The garbage men and they find money. It's like, nah, no.
don't listen to everything I say. Is the moral of the tale. I'm right about the film recommendations I make on normal podcasts about Morocco. I definitely am. Watch Bob Roberts, everyone. It's got John Cusack in. It's got Tim Robbins in. It's got everyone in it. Anyway.
So yeah, all right. So there's another member of the Brat Pack. A better looking version of member of the Brat
James
Pack.
Spader.
No.
Oh, James, I'm thinking
Hey, you mentioned the movie that he was in about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, crikey. Class, Andrew McCarthy, though?
No.
No? You're going to have to tell me, Joe. Or else these 45-minute podcasts are going to be about...
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm trying to stretch it out a little bit.
Okay, well, I don't think you need to. We're nearly halfway.
His other co-star in that movie. Class.
Oh, so we've got John Cusack, Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe.
As
Bender.
No way. I don't care. I don't care about Bad Boy Lowe. I don't care about sex tapes, compromising positions, whatever else he's done. Rob Lowe is one of those. He's one of those people whereby if Sean Penn had made a sex tape, you go, "Of course he did. Of course he did." You know, it's Sean Penn. Look at him, and he probably punched somebody that did this. Rob Lowe makes a sex tape, and it's just like, eh, okay, all right, yeah, all right. You know, I can see it. You know, he's a saxophone player from St. Elmo's Fire, and all the girls see him like that. Fine, great. He always gets laid. Brilliant. John Bender? No, no way.
Yeah, there's no way in
No
hell.
way.
Well, again, he's got to be hard, and I just don't see that. You know,
I could
it
take
doesn't
Rob
look
Lowe.
like can't see him like in street fights or anything like that. Like he's too much of a pretty boy, you know, to be a tough guy. Like,
Yeah. Would I have a fight with Sean Penn? No. Although I reckon, anyway, no. It could be the simple answer. Rob Lowe? Yeah. Go on then. I'll do it on the way to breakfast.
yeah, I mean, I might have a fight with Sean Penn, but he might kick my ass too.
We might
You
do.
know?
I don't
But
know,
yeah,
actually. It's a bit.
I don't know about Rob Lowe. Yeah, Rob Lowe would be the first thing words out of his mouth was like, "Don't hit me in the face."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not, not,
Uh,
that- not that we would incite violence on any Hollywood star. We
no.
don't advocate violence, um, even to some of the people that we don't like. We'd never advocate violence. Anyway, yes. Are we off bending? I guess we're gonna make. We got another
No, we
four
got one
characters.
more. We got one
What?
more.
What?
Yeah, he's a famous comedian.
Robin
Um,
Williams.
he's in one of my favorite movies of all time, comedy movies of all time,
Okay.
and I think it's one of yours too.
Uh,
That
what? Bill Murray? No.
it had, you know, about these guys going cross country
Chevy
in a
Chase.
no
Right.
in a truck made out as a dog.
Oh. What? Jim? No, not Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah,
Okay. Jeff Daniels.
no, the other one.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
No. Right. That's very simple. He may be dark in the Cable Guy, Joe, but he does not make that doesn't make him gritty and streetwise. No, definitely not.
yeah, he's too goofy looking.
You can't have the guy that played Ace, well, that hadn't at the time, but played the mask in Ace Ventura, basically made his name by gurning everywhere. Admittedly, very funny. I'm not going to take anything away. I still think his best film is The Cable Guy. Personally, sorry about that.
He was
Listeners.
in some small roles in, I think, 80s movies, and you know, like when he wasn't known,
Yeah, he
and
was in Earth Girls. Earth Girls Are Easy.
but he was goofy in that one.
Hmm.
But I forget what movie I was watching recently. He was in it, and you know, he kind of played just like someone part of the gang, and he could have been. I think he probably would have been better as what was the other guy's name? The nerd.
That's a big open field there, Joe.
The nerd, you know, the you know, Anthony Michael Hall.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
What's his character's name?
Uh.
Putting you on the
Oh
spot.
God. Yeah. Yeah. Wait a minute. Um. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. You just put me on the spot. I don't know
I'm
because he
sorry.
gets asked his name.
Yeah, I just know his middle name was Ralph.
Right. Oh
Uh,
God.
but
I am
again,
on the spot
see,
on that one. Yeah.
yeah, you should be ashamed
I
because
should
I
be
shouldn't
really.
be because I don't give a damn about this movie. But yeah, I have no idea who he played. But no, I could see Jim Carrey playing that character, especially, you know, put some glasses on him, make him a little more geekier.
Yeah, because there's part of me that doesn't forgive. I do like Anthony Michael Hall. I like the films he was in, but I don't forgive him for what him and Molly Ringwald
Oh,
ended up stabbing John Hughes in the heart, pretty much.
and the stuff I read about them
Oh,
today,
they're horrible. The two of them
they do
with
not
what they did.
deserve.
No,
They do not deserve a career. First of all, you know, again, they were okay. They were not James Dean or anything like that. You know, like that they felt that they were so privileged that they needed. I mean, I was reading he turned down the role in Full Metal Jacket, you know, and Kubrick specifically wanted him. Like he loved him, and it was either 16 Candles or this movie, and he said he kind of like wrote that character for
Yeah,
Anthony Michael Hall, and he was like, no, I don't like the character. Who does that? You
who
know,
goes to
it's
yes,
Stanley Kubrick.
yeah. Hi, is Martin Scorsese on the phone? He'd like to know if you'd be one of the three lead characters in Goodfellas. No, I don't know what's it about. It's about like doesn't matter. It's about he's making a mafia story.
And
Oh well,
and
can you ask him to send the script so I can have a look at it? Right, wrong answer.
and he was dating Molly Ringwald. What an annoying couple that must have been.
Yes, absolutely.
They probably just couldn't stand anybody. They probably thought they were the perfect couple. And
They
that
probably
everyone
thought
else was.
I mean, look at the trajectory of what happened. They ended up turning films down, and in the end, John Hughes went and worked on things like Home Alone, and says, right, okay, I'm going to move away now. You've got Dutch with Ed Harris, you've got Curly Sue, you've got all of these things that not really a great end to a career. Having said that, can I take away the performances of Molly Ringwald and Anthony Michael Hall? Not at all. I think that they're pretty much perfect in the films that they're in.
I
But
could.
however, you're right. As individuals and as a couple, they ended up turning on the very person that made them a star. And you know what? The just desserts are. What did Anthony Michael Hall go to? He ended up being in a film called Johnny Be Good with Robert Downey Jr. If you ask somebody to name 20 Robert Downey Jr. films for £1 million and gave them clues as to that film, they still wouldn't be able to name it. And then he appears in Edward Scissorhands, then not a lot, and then turns up in the last Halloween film, in which he's all right. He's okay. I mean, I enjoy those films anyway, and it was nice to see somebody I knew. But Paul, live by the sword, die by the sword. If he makes a bad career choice and he starts, as you said, pissing off people around him, and he doesn't get where he wants to, tough luck.
He had so many things handed to him, that guy. He was the youngest cast member on Saturday Night Live. Um, and
Yeah,
it's just amazing. I don't know his life and all that, but it does seem like he turned down a lot of things. Like you said, it was Ferris Bueller was written for him, right?
yeah, yeah.
It's
And just
insane.
all you have to do is go straight into it. And from a pedigree point of view, you'd be going like, yeah, so I've done Weird, so I've done 16 Candles, I've done Weird Science, I've done The Breakfast Club. They've all been huge successes, huge successes. Yeah, I'm not going to do this one. But what are you going to do instead, Anthony? What are you going to do? Oh, this low budget thing with Robert Downey Jr. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it works out for you. It didn't.
So on to his ex-girlfriend here. So I'll get rid of the clues. I'll just kind of name them off. Molly Ringwald. So she was originally cast as Allison. Now, did you
Yeah,
cover
I
that?
remember. I remember saying that. Yeah, we did remember saying that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, now that you've seen Ali Sheedy's interpretation of it, probably not. But if you just told me the character, having just done well, I say having done just Pretty in Pink, she was known as that sort of character, and I know she didn't want to be typecast because she wanted to be
Hmm.
the Alison character, and I'm like, just stick with what you're good at. And she is. She was. She's. There's no fault to anyone in here. Are you going to get to the janitor? By the way, is the janitor on your list?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, and so everyone stick to what you're good at because the role needs you to be good at what you do. Are you going to say Ali Sheedy audition for
I'll get
Claire?
there.
Ali
But
Sheedy for Claire.
I want to stick to Molly Ringwald though. But
Okay.
like you said, she didn't want to play Allison because she didn't like that she was a loner in 16 Candles. And so she pushed John Hughes to cast her as Claire. Again, this is like entitled crap. It's like, who are you? Should be lucky that he saw something in you that he wanted to put you in this role.
Yeah.
Like, what did she have before this? She had 16 Candles. Did she have Pretty in Pink at this point?
I
Or
think
was
beforehand, I think it's the same. You testing my. I should know this off by heart. Um, I think it was Pretty in Pink was the same year. I'm just going to check.
yeah, it's just that I don't understand. Well, I guess a lot of kids are like that today too.
Pretty in Pink was the next year, the year after.
Okay. But yeah, it just seemed like I don't know, just
Do
really
you
weird.
know
And
what she played? Do you know what the character she played in Pretty in Pink, Joe?
oh, her name?
No, no, no. She played a loner, alone, with her own unique individuality at a high school with a best friend called Ducky, played by John Cryer. So typecast, you know, did she turn around and I don't know because I don't remember covering it. She turned around and Pretty in Pink and going, I'm not going to be the main character in this film. I don't want to be a loner.
Melissa McCarthy has been typecast as somebody who's fat and stupid, and
Hmm,
she makes a lot of money off of that.
absolutely.
You
Do I
know,
want to see her do anything different? Not really. Do I like her in Bridesmaids? Yes. Do I like her in much else? No. Will I ever forgive her for Ghostbusters? Never. I won't forget. I won't forgive anybody involved in that film, that remake. None of them.
but with that being said, though, with Molly Ringwald, I could see her in this character. Again, she's another one. She would just have to put glasses on, have her hair kind of like all messy, and she would kind of look like an outcast, loner type of person, a weirdo.
Right.
And then pretty her up at the end. I could see that happening. So yeah, I could see her
Can
in that
you?
role.
Oh, I was about to say something a bit bitchy there. Can you pretty her up? Anyway, right. Let's not
Well,
go.
she was supposed to play the pretty one. Wasn't Claire the pretty one?
Well, well,
Popular pretty one.
well. If I was being of that age when I watched it, Ali Sheedy was the more intriguing and
Oh, I
good looking
agree.
character. Especially, I mean, I know I shouldn't say this, and with today's prism, I probably can't get away with it. But when she beautifies herself at the end, wow, yeah,
Oh yeah, no, I
Molly
agree.
Ringwald, John Bender, you picked the wrong girl here. It's
Well, I didn't have actually that. So she auditioned. Ali Sheedy auditioned for the role of Claire, according to you.
no, I thought you might have that on there. I don't remember that, but I
Oh,
was going to
okay.
say, like, if we were doing a whole switcheroo and everyone's auditioning for everything else, like musical chairs, and everyone just has to sit in the chair that they're given.
Yeah, no, I didn't have that, but I had a lot of good actresses auditioning for Claire. The first one I got is Robin Wright, who is
Yeah,
the Princess Bride.
Princess Buttercup. In
Uh,
Princess Bride. Yeah.
I think that would be a huge improvement if it was her, because she was very attractive. I could see her playing
Yep.
someone that was
Yeah, I
pretty
can see that.
popular.
Yeah. Was she the one, Robin? Right, she was the one in Forrest Gump.
Yes.
Oh, I can never forgive her. I can't. Again, there's another film. Everybody involved in that film should be thoroughly ashamed.
It's
And
funny. I read a long time ago. You English do not like that movie, Forrest
no,
Gump.
well, I don't. I don't. I'd love to be able to speak for the English people, but anytime it comes up, there's two camps. One camp, which is a minority, goes, "Oh, I so love that film. It's amazing because they look. He shakes Kennedy's hand and he said thinks he's got to go pee and all this sort of stuff." Right. The other camps are not only is Forrest Gump overrated, but Tom Hanks is overrated, and
Well,
I firmly believe that, and I'm happy to be in that camp.
I think part of it, again, being from the United States, is uh, I liked it. It was a feel good movie, and I guess there was a lot of American history, infused into that movie. And I know a lot of people liked it, and I think didn't he win an Oscar for that
Wait a minute,
performance?
tell me the bits where you felt good. Where were they? When his mum died, when his friend got
No,
his legs blown off. I mean, I just
no,
wondering where the happiness bits
he
are.
was a happy simpleton. He accepted what life had given him, and he just,
It's a
you know,
story of a guy catching a bus.
and
That's it.
look at the
That's it,
happy
Joe.
part. He invested in all that Apple stock. So guy was a happy guy. I hope
All
so.
right, okay. Oh, well, fine. Do you know, I've thought of another idea of podcast we could do as fillers. As is this film overrated? Let's not do Forrest Gump because it most definitely is. But there's quite a few on my list, and I'm sure there's a few on yours.
Oh yeah.
But
Well,
anyway, there you
we're
go.
talking about one right
Well,
now.
exactly. We're crossing the genres. You know when we talked about that we might have to do two films in order to do 45 minutes. We haven't finished
Mhm.
this one, and we're up to nearly 35. So
Uh,
I think
okay.
we might have to do. In fact, dear listeners, at this point, we may have to split this up into two nights, as in we do two more tomorrow, and we do four for your listening pleasure.
Yeah,
I think we're going to have to because we still got. I know the janitor who's
oh
coming,
no, well, yeah, no,
but we
we have
haven't
a
got
lot
there yet.
here.
Yeah.
No, we're still on Claire. All right,
Okay.
so again, I think Robin Wright would have been fantastic.
Definitely, I agree with that.
Next one, I'm not so sure about Jodie Foster.
No, no. If you think about what Jodie Foster had been in by this point,
Yeah, it was like
Bugsy Malone and Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver, Freaky Friday.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I can't see her. I mean,
Plus, if Claire's supposed to be the good-looking one, Jodie Foster, I don't see it.
yeah, you can't see that either,
Having said
unfortunately.
that, she's spectacular in Contact.
She is,
She's
and
so good
Silence
in
of the
that
Lambs.
film.
She is a
Yes.
great actress. She's won an Oscar. She's been nominated several times. She is a good actress, but
Yeah.
that's not the role that she should have played. So I think that they did good with the casting there by not casting her.
I remember her and Kelly McGillis in The Accused, that film, where Jodie Foster's character gets raped and nobody believes her.
Mm.
And I do remember that's a really powerful film. Side story, I went on a first date to see that film because
No,
I had
geez.
no, yeah, but I didn't know what was. I didn't fully. I thought it'd be like I could go there and it'd be like, oh, this guy's not got a problem with, strong, women and women's stories and women's issues and things like this. Yeah, not a good first date film.
Well, I got a funny first date story. I had gotten my home theater for the first time back in New
Okay.
York. So I had like these huge giant speakers because back then, they were all huge.
Yeah.
And I had my VCR and my TV all hooked up. And I had this girl coming over. It's like, you want to come over and check out this movie I got surround sound home theater. It's
Oh
going to sound
God,
just like
Joe,
the
what
movies.
film did you put on?
Basic Instinct. And the
What?
very first scene is Sharon Stone is having
The ice
sex
pick
with
in the eye.
somebody,
Yeah.
and she's orgasming, and and this girl, is uncomfortable. Now I got like my mouth is open wide. It's like, can you hear that? It
Oh
sounds
dear.
just like it. She's like, I don't know if this is the proper film we should be watching. It
How
says,
old? How old were So wait a minute. How old were
I don't
you?
know. I was in my 20s.
Oh, I'd say. Can you? I can imagine the youth of today, Joe.
Oh, they
Sticking
would
on
be
that. So
appalled.
what? Well, yeah, yeah.
I
There'd be
think
plenty
some
in
would be
there that
appalled anyway, but
write to Netflix and say we need a warning. We need a warning at the start of this film.
I was like, well, we could fast forward this part. Yeah, but
Uh, but there's a little sexy serial killer as opposed to woman gets repeatedly raped and then has to fight a court case. I think I
yeah,
win. I think I win on bad
no, yeah, I think you do
because
too.
at least you've got some sexiness in there. There's nothing. Well, and as absolutely not. I mean, the subject matter is just.
And plus, I had a 27-inch screen. You had like a humongous
I
screen
did, and
to
I couldn't
watch
get
that
away
on.
from it.
Yeah.
So I just enjoyed the performance. Anyway,
All right, next one up,
next one.
Laura Dern. She auditioned for Claire and Allison.
Laura Dern. Laura Dern. I like Laura Dern. Um,
I think she's annoying now.
oh, she's horrendous. And I know the regular listeners would have heard my previous rant, but Jurassic World Dominion is the worst film I've seen in the last 5 years. End of. It's it it. I can't get past the 45 minutes that I've watched it, and Laura Dern is probably the only decent thing in that. but that's not praise.
What was that movie she did with? I'm gonna put you on the spot again.
Oh yeah, by all means. Yeah,
Uh, that movie with Nicolas Cage.
Wild at Heart.
See, I haven't seen that. I
That's
bet you
amazing.
she
That's
probably is good
incredible.
in that.
She's very good in that.
But I keep thinking of her as long neck Holdo from Rogue One. Is it Rogue One? No,
From
no,
Last
Last
Jedi.
Jedi. Last
Yeah,
Jedi. Yeah.
yeah.
And I can't picture her as either Claire or Allison. But I guess when she was younger, she probably, you know,
Do
may
you
have
know
fit
what?
the
I'm going to
role.
go out on a limb and say that she could probably have done both. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah.
All right. So this is for the role of Andrew, and he had already chosen, I guess, Emilio Estevez. But if Emilio Estevez had said no, that these were some people that were under consideration,
Okay.
they're actually pretty good. Michael J. Fox.
As the jock, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He plays a jock in Teen Wolf, so yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and he was a decent actor, Michael J. Fox.
But you having it come out at the same time as in Back to the Future, Breakfast Club would have tripled its profits.
True, very true. Another person we mentioned before, Jim Carrey.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there.
Let's look at Andrew's story in the film. Andrew's story is he gets pressure from his dad. I mean, predominantly from his dad. I assume it's from the whole family. Predominantly from his dad to win. So he bullies another kid and basically maims the other kid in order to prove his credentials back to his dad, in order to prove that he's tough and he's hard. I can't see Jim Carrey doing that.
Well, I think part of the problem too is we just remember him as Ace Ventura and Lloyd Christmas and The Mask, but this is before then. And again, I think he could play serious roles, but yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I'm kind of like in the middle with him.
Okay.
Next one, I think would be an excellent choice, but I think it probably he would have felt it was a downgrade for him. Tom Cruise.
That would work.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that would work. Because I could believe. So now I'm thinking Tom Cruise from All the Right Moves,
Mm.
and going, yeah, that fits in pretty well. Tom Cruise, I've always been really torn on, and weirdly enough, I couldn't sleep yesterday, so I woke up at 6:15 in the morning, and the one thing that I was thinking about is Tom Cruise's career, and is Tom Cruise a one-trick pony?
No.
Well, no. I know, and I know that sounds dismissive because I love Tom Cruise's movies. Apart from Far and Away and Interview with the Vampire, both of them are terrible. But the rest of his films are really entertaining, really good. The only time he flexes his acting chops is in a film called Magnolia. I don't. Otherwise, he just
Yeah, that was a
plays.
great performance.
It is. Otherwise, he just plays cool Tom Cruise, sporty Tom Cruise, or very, very shouty Tom Cruise. And he's the sheer definition of a movie star, but he's not an actor.
Well,
Is that harsh? Is that a bit harsh?
For me, it is because I think he's a very good actor. I think he's up there with Brad Pitt, where their looks have kind of cursed them, and a lot of people don't take them seriously. But I think they're both very good actors. And usually, when I watch their movies, I enjoy them. I enjoyed Interview with the Vampire, and I know I'm not alone with that one. That could be an English thing again.
Okay,
But
you're not alone, but there's only you could fit the meeting of the Interview with a Vampire fan club in a phone box, and
I
that's a UK
disagree.
phone box as well. So probably about 4 of you at a push.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
But no, I think Cruz has always been a very good actor. I think he's very underrated. My biggest problem with him now is he keeps doing those Mission Impossible movies, and there's just too many. What it was
but
like
I'd rather
300.
watch Mission Impossible than Fast and the
But the-
Furious. And
but it's like 8 movies. Like, have you seen like not Interstellar. What's they call it, like Live, Die, Repeat now? The
Oh,
Edge of
Edge of
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, he was great in that one. And what was the other one that he
No,
was in around
he's
that?
good in it. He's good in it, but he's good as a movie star.
But he's just. But I'm just saying he's good. I like seeing his movies. I think he does a good part in that. What is that movie that he was in where he played a clone, and like the aliens had invaded Earth, and they were convinced that they were trying to protect the planet. Oh man, it begins with an I. Not
Oblivion.
Inception.
I thought
Oblivion. Yeah,
Oblivion. Right.
that's what it is. It doesn't begin with an I.
Uh,
There's an I in it though.
I knew you were going with that, Joe, so it's fine.
Okay, but no, he's great. I really like his movies. But no, I think I think they're up to Mission Impossible 8, because I think this last one is a two-parter,
Yeah, so it's
which
two-part. Yeah.
yeah, which is crazy because I
Keep
think that,
making them though. We keep enjoying them.
well, yeah, but by him making all these movies, he's not making other movies he could have been good in. And like you said, he was great in what was the one that Christopher Nolan film? Was it Christopher Nolan? Not Memento. You mentioned it where he
Oh, uh, Magnolia.
Magnolia. Yeah, he was great in that.
Incredible.
He should have won the Oscar for that for sure, and he should have won the Oscar for Rain Man. He was much better than Dustin Hoffman in that movie.
What?
And oh yes, I feel
What?
anyway. Dustin
Good
Hoffman just
Lord.
if you want an Oscar, you're gonna have to play a mentally handicapped person. Sean Penn, uh, Dustin Hoffman, Tom Hanks. It's like that's all you got to do. And Hollywood is just a sucker, and they'll give you the Oscar. But I think
Wow.
that Tom Cruise was much better in Rain Man. I just and the Color of Money. He's just very good. I won't turn this into a Tom Cruise podcast, but
Oh, crikey. We've got various strands that we can pull on for later
yeah,
podcasts. But yeah, I'm right, Joe. There's actors and there's movie stars, and people fall into one category or the other. Sometimes when they're very lucky, both.
yeah. No, I agree, but I
Is
still
Brad
feel
Pitt an
that
actor or is he a movie star?
I feel he's an actor, and I
He's an
feel
actor,
yeah, I feel Tom Cruise is an actor too.
but I don't think Brad Pitt is anywhere near the draw that Tom Cruise is.
No, that Bullet Train looks so dumb.
It does look. It does. Yeah, it'll probably be the only thing that's available like on the cinema when I'm on holiday.
Yeah, unfortunately.
No, because I mean, it could be. Well, it could be worse. It could be Thor.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure you're not going to go to the cinema.
Oh, we do. Well, we are. We love. There's an open air cinema in Kos in Greece. That's where we're going. There's an open air cinema. It's amazing. The bars at the back, no roof.
Is it in English?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Last time we were there, we saw the second Mamma Mia film together.
All right. So next one.
Right.
Matthew Broderick.
As Andrew.
Yeah.
Well, he plays the greatest character in the greatest John Hughes film. So no, I'm gonna have to say no.
Well, I would say no with Emilio Estevez. I think probably the best one on that list is Tom Cruise, but I think
Yeah, I'll give you. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think Matthew Broderick would have been a better one than Emilio Estevez, just because I think Emilio Estevez sucks. I'm not a fan of his.
Right.
All right, next one, Rob Lowe.
So yeah, that's probably more not John
Yeah.
Bender. Yeah. I'll give you. Yeah. Again, he's cheap. Emilio Estevez against Rob Lowe. I mean, Rob Lowe is, infinitely more good looking than Emilio Estevez. I don't know if you want somebody that looks fresh faced. Rob Lowe would then, in the same year, if you believe it, most of the characters play other characters in St. Elmo's Fire, which is and Emilio Estevez really does do himself a disservice in that film. But I know you're not a fan anyway, so
Yeah, I would say Rob Lowe would be good because he kind of has that persona of being an American jock, you know, which I think it was wrestling, right? It wasn't football. I think he was a wrestler.
Yes, that's right. Andrew's the wrestler. Yeah,
Yeah, I could see that. I think he'd be okay.
right. So where John Bender goes, I want to be. That's definitely like rolling around on the floor with other guys.
All right, now we'll get to the janitor, right? So
Right.
do you
Okay.
want to say your guy?
I know who it is. It's Rick Moranis. That's who you got written down there.
That's one of them, yeah.
There's one of them, and Rick Moranis was politely asked to leave um, because you can't. There are the film is funny. John Vernon, the principal, is funny. Um, and you like it works because people are laughing at it, not with him. But the janitor is the emotional anchor to the whole thing, and he's hardly in it. But the two times he is in it is the bit about I know all your secrets. I go through your bins and I go through your lockers. That's where you see John Bender's eyes pop out, going, "What? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know everything that's going on in the school." And he also catches the principal looking at the records of other teachers down in the basement, and then says, "Give me $50, and I'll ignore it." I said, "This is a guy who's streetwise. He knows what's going on. Who knows how to play the system. Who knows how things work. You can't play it for laughs, and B, you can't have Rick Moranis. So whoever your second name is already better choice, even though that might not fit either."
Yeah, no, actually, I think this one is probably a better choice. John Candy.
No, for
Well,
the
what do you mean
same
no?
for the same reason.
Well, look at like when he was emotional in Uncle Buck, you know. I can see him being sympathetic and emotional.
Well, I'm not talking. I'm not saying the guy can't act. I can't. He's not. A, you know, an actor. He's more of a movie star, and sadly, very, very, very missed. Because God knows what he would have made. I reckon he would have continued to make good film. Good films, and they would have brought him back into the fold. But no, definitely not. It has to be somebody streetwise, and that isn't John Candy.
I could see it. They might have written the character a little different for him, but I wouldn't have mind him being in it because I am a fan of John Candy, especially during that period. And
Yeah,
he's had a lot of history with John Hughes. I think it would have worked well,
yeah.
actually.
Sorry, can't come in the library. The library's closed. Moose out front. Should have told you. Yeah, yeah, great. Yeah, that works.
Another one of your favorites.
Okay,
Well, you know who he would have reminded me a little bit of his role in Vacation. You know?
that's the bit I just paraphrased. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, the security
I didn't
guard.
see again. I forgot that, and to me, this movie is so forgettable. The Breakfast Club that
Harsh, harsh, Jay.
it could have came from there, but I'm sorry. All
Right.
right,
Okay. Right.
so I did a dumb
I,
thing.
I, I
All right,
swapped the park for the library. I was even that inventive. But yeah,
okay. So
thanks.
all right. So this is another one of your favorite comedians.
Okay. Bill Murray.
Bill. There you go, Bill
Oh,
Murray.
yeah, that would have worked. Actually, yeah, because he can
Yeah,
he can do that streetwise. He was a taxi driver. He was a taxi driver in Stripes. He knows how things work. He's pretty on the ball. Yeah, yeah,
and
definitely.
we've seen he does have range sometimes. I know Amanda differs, right?
Yeah.
She's not a huge fan of his, but
I finished What About Bob? I think it's a couple of weeks ago.
oh, and she didn't like
with
it.
with Richard Dreyfuss. No, I couldn't put that film anywhere near her. I watched it on my own.
I love that movie.
I think it's
Yeah.
great. I think it's
Yeah.
wonderful, but I just think Amanda's going to go. No, I don't want to turn her off Bill Murray because we will do other Bill Murray films, and one day I'm pretty sure we'll do What About Bob. But oh, good lord, I just know she gets Spinal Tap 2 out of 10. I'm sorry if you spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, if you haven't listened to it or seen it yet. But wow, the film that Time Out London called the funniest film of all time in 2011. Amanda gives it 2 out of 10 and goes to make a coffee for 15 minutes of it. Yeah,
Well,
I can't. She's not a fan. Well, I was about to say not a fan of the classics. She is a fan of the classics.
yeah.
Just her classics.
Yeah, everybody makes mistakes every now and then. Don't tell her I said that though.
So I should be listening to it, Joe. It's fine.
Oh,
She'll be
great.
listening to it by the pool, and then she'll be giving me dirty looks at this point and going,
She'll
yeah,
throw
anyway.
a phone in the pool.
she'll throw me in the pool.
That bloody Joe.
All right, okay. You just pouring kerosene on the fire, Joe.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
I
good.
better stop.
She talks more like this, like Mary Poppins. If I'm gonna get in trouble and I'm gonna get thrown in the pool, I might as well go for it. You know.
Okay.
All right.
Well, the phone's already in the pool, so that's it. So,
That's it.
do you want me to go in with Batman or?
Oh, definitely not, Joe. We've got enough. We're just under an hour.
Okay.
That's pretty good. So, so we've trailed all these other things that we're going to do. Do you know what? What we'll do is I'll get back off holiday and then we'll do the other 2 films. So you will actually have them split up into four podcasts. Because listen to us. I said this to you at the start of the podcast. This is what we're like. Joe's usually wrong. I'm usually right.
We sometimes agree. Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. But yeah. Anyway, tune in next week, and you can hear us talk about the same thing about a film that's very dear to Joe's heart, as is mine, as is the character, which is legendary. So, the 1989 film Batman,
Mhm.
1989.
I just want to say one last thing
Go for
about
it.
what we just did with the Breakfast Club.
Okay,
I think this could have been a better movie with a different cast. I think Sean Penn as Bender.
okay.
Let's see, as Allison. I think I would have kept what's her name?
Okay, I want Nick Cage as Bender.
No, Sean Penn. Well, I have Sean Penn being Bender.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'm doing mine. All right, so Sean Penn. It's not Ali McGraw. What's her name? Ali Sheedy.
Ali Sheedy, yeah.
Ali Sheedy as Allison. I think she was actually pretty good compared to
Who's married to Judd Nelson in St. Elmo's Fire that same year. Imagine if you'd seen St. Elmo's Fire before you'd see Breakfast Club.
Yeah, that'd be problematic.
Very.
I'd
Because you'd
have
never have any respect for Emilio Estevez.
Robin Wright as Claire.
Yeah, I like that.
Tom Cruise as Andrew.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Are we missing anybody here?
Yeah, we missed the geek.
The geek. I guess nobody wanted to play the geek.
Well, it's pretty much Anthony Michael Hall. I mean, he's perfect in it.
Yeah. And I say John Candy as a janitor.
No, John Kapelos. That's who played it.
But I think it could have been a better movie. My biggest problem with that movie is it takes place in one area. I think if it would have expanded, I know it's detention, and I've been in detention. It sucks. You don't want to go and see a movie about detention. And plus, that would never have happened. They would never allow you to just talk and fool around. There would always be somebody sitting there monitoring your every move. It's
Right,
just
okay.
an unrealistic movie.
Well, I think the Rotten Tomatoes score, you're in a minority, so
Yeah, whatever.
never mind. Right, well, there's only 2 of us to say goodbye, but we'll see you next week where we'll talk about Batman, which we're going to talk about in about 10 minutes, 10 minutes time. We're going to record it. But anyway, cheerio, everyone.
See ya.
You're not saying Toodle Pip?
No, that's not me.
All right, okay. You don't want to get into more trouble.
No.
Okay, I get that. Right, okay. All right. Cheers, everyone. See you later.